Okay, so my most memorable day as a reporter this year occurred on Thanksgiving Day. I had been reporting about Jonathan Pitre's stem cell transplant in Minnesota. And on Thanksgiving Day, as everyone else was having dinner, I received a message from Jonathan's mother, Tina, in which she said, "So I got the results. It was his own cells." And what she was telling me was that the white blood cells that Jonathan was producing were in fact his own. And that was a crushing disappointment, because in the week before that, there had been this great optimism that Jonathan was starting to produce white stem cells that were the product of the stem cell transplant, or white cells based on the stem cell transplant. But in fact, they were his own cells, and it meant that the stem cell transplant had failed. And so it was just a crushing disappointment for everyone around Jonathan, particularly him and his mother. And it was particularly difficult on Thanksgiving Day. In 3 decades as a reporter, I don't think I've ever had a story in which the subject of that story connects to the community as much as is the case with Jonathan Pitre. And it's hard to explain that phenomenon. I think part of it is that he's just such an honest kid, and that comes across in his interviews. He's funny, he's positive. And I think it's easy for everyone to put themselves in the place of Jonathan and try to imagine how you would have the same level of courage that he does in facing such a difficult disease day after day with the level of pain that it involves. So the next big step in Jonathan's treatment is going to be his second stem cell transplant. And right now that's scheduled to take place in early February, on February 9th. And his doctor, Jacob Tolar, says that the second stem cell transplant has a better chance of succeeding than the first. And I certainly have to think that it will succeed, because there's no one I know that deserves a break more than Jonathan.